Memorable Meadows is March 2024 Paper Pumpkin Kit. And I'm going to use it to scrapbook these photos of my gardens, which have changed over the years. So we have hostas and begonias and more hostas. And I think this is in the back of the house where we had potatoes, I think, another year. And now there's roses there, I think, because those are carnations. Yeah, that's not out front because there's no window. But stick around. I'll tell you a little funny story about this. So this kit has everything to create 9 cards. So the envelopes, the card bases, and the embellishments for it. But because I'm a scrapbooker, I want to use some of this kit for scrapbooking. So we are going to play around with, I think I'm going to keep or take out these, I can't think of what they're called, but these little embellishments. And I did rip apart a couple of the envelopes because look at that gorgeous design. So very cloud. You could put, not that this is clouds, but you could put a nice meadow scene on that as like a photo layer if you wanted, or cut it up to kind of put it as strips on your paper. We'll get to that in a minute. This kit has 2 stamp sets in there, and I did make a little mistake earlier. I was stamping, I cleaned it, and then I therefore dropped the stamp set right on the stamp set right on this piece of paper. So this one here has 2 stamp sets, which I don't know what happened to the other one. Oh, there it is. Because March usually has a second stamp set as a bonus, kind of like an anniversary of Paper Pumpkin or something like that. All right, so I have an unboxing video that I will link in this description so you can go and have a peek at it. And there were some wood elements in there, so I've colored one with Stampin' blends, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. I don't know if I'm going to use that wood piece yet because it's quite bulky, and I don't know if I want, it's quite thick, so I don't know if I want to add that, but I figured I'd color it ahead of time, and I might just use these die cut leaves instead. I have them in Granny Apple Green and Pretty Peacock because those are the colors that coordinate. On the back of, this is the instruction sheet that comes in the kit. So on the back here, it lists all the colors, which there are a lot of colors in this kit, which is awesome. So I pulled out all the colors from my inks. And some of them I wouldn't think go together, but I guess if you're, that says Petal Pink. It's not whited out, but it's faded because of the sun. And my ink pads don't get direct sun, but sunlight will fade some of the colors on the ink pads. Like Gorgeous Grape is not as dark as it should be there. But these are the colors that are coordinate. So I've picked out this smaller bundle of ones that I like that I might use on this page, but I figured I'd better grab all the colors just in case, since my ink pads are way over there and I don't like changing spots too much as I'm going along. All right, so we have these photos. And the funny story I wanted to share with you is I printed these back, I don't know, about 5 days ago. And then I promptly deleted the photos off my phone going, okay, they're printed. And I knew I had them saved on my computer and in the cloud and all that kind of stuff. Like you're supposed to do with photos, you're supposed to save them like 2 or 3 spots. And then today, as I'm going to record this video, I'm going, what year were these? So then I took about 15 minutes trying to find what year these gorgeous photos are from, and I couldn't find it. So it's a guess. I'm going to guess. I'm going to leave the date off of it, and maybe someday I'll figure out what year this layout goes in. But because it's a kit and it's not for scrapbooking, it's for card making, I decided to pull up one of my sketches. This is layout sketch number 1. And this is from my 3 fun scrapbook layout sketches and how to use them. So this here is, if you go to subscribe.fromwhereistamp.ca, you can receive these 3, this layout and this layout and this layout for free. And in this will be the dimensions as well as instructions on how to put the layout together, and then link to a video. So this is one of the first videos I made with this design that I created. So this is the, I'm going to say fun with fishing, but it's not. It's the fishing suite. And just a note, annual catalog is retiring end of April 2024. So if there is any products, I will be posting that April 9th, because that's when the list you can purchase retired items. All right, so we're going to come back to this a couple more times. I'm just going to put it off to the side. So my photos. So with this layout, I've added a little bit. So we're going to change up a sketch. And I love doing that because you can take this and turn it on its side if you want. If you have portrait photos, you can add extra layers. Like on this page here, I added an extra strip. So there's different things you can do. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of fresh freesia and I've 12 by 12 and I've cut it down to 11 by 11. And then I have Very Vanilla because Very Vanilla was one of the colors listed, even though it's kind of a white daisies on this card here. So because this one is designed to be a fold on this side, it was nice and easy to get 11 inches out of the card without having to cut it up or anything. And then I took some Granny Apple Green and then ripped it along the edge. And then I've just pushed up the edge to create a little bit more dimension on it, because this is something that if you want to add just a little bit, you could also add some ink to it. I don't like adding ink to it because it adds a little bit too much for my liking. All right, let's put these pieces together. I got my table over here that I just swap things over, and no one's going to see this fold when the layout is done. So I'm not worried about it because I'll have it covered up by a photo. So when you're using kits that are designed for cards, a good thing to do is to look at the pieces and how you can either use it with a sketch or to cover up, or how you could cover up those seams with either embellishments or photos or journal block, which I'm not going to have a journal block because I don't know what year and date this is. I think it's like May or June, but I don't know. All right, so I haven't glued these two together yet because I'm undecided what I want to do. So we're going to have this here for sure. And then we have our, let's put our photos on the photo blocks. Then that'll make it easier, and then I'm not losing photos and gluing photos the wrong way and all that kind of stuff. All right. So some Stampin' Seal just on the corners. And someday I'll find what year and month these photos are from. Oops. I don't know. Because the photos I have saved in my phone are the edited versions. So of course they say 2024. I was going to say 2014. It's not 2014, silly. And so there we go. And these photos are gloss, and it's not my favorite. I prefer matte, but Staples doesn't allow matte printing, which is okay, as long as they're printed. Okay. I've lost the lid. Oops. And it's off the table. So I'll just put that up there and I'll put the lid on it later. All right, so there's our photos ready to go. So now I didn't do this piece here because I wasn't sure how, like what date I wanted to put on it, but let's do some stamping. So I've already done some stamping. I wanted to do some comparison, and I figured it'd be easier for me to do this ahead of time and show you what the outcomes if you wanted different ways to color in your stamps. So because this kit has two, oh come on, everything's falling over. Because this kit has two stamp sets, this would be your normal, the smaller one is your normal paper pumpkin, and this is the bonus stamp set. So, and this one's missing a stamp because we're going to use that one as kind of our title for this page. So what I've done is I've taken this larger flower here. Maybe I'll show you this. This is easier. This larger flower, and this here colors in. So this is my first one I did. I stamped it using Memento Black, and then I used fresh freesia with these large flowers. And then this one here, I was kind of intrigued going, what is this? So I figured I would show you. It creates extra dimension, and I used Berry Burst for that. Those fresh freesia and Berry Burst go well together. And then the leaves here. I didn't see what this was for. Is this accent on the leaves? Probably. I didn't think of that. Yeah, so it's an accent for the leaves. So if you wanted to do a lighter color on the leaves, then you could come along and put a darker color. So say you wanted to use Old Olive and then Mossy Meadow, that would create a nice two-tone for stamping. So that's the first one. And then I used, there was the little stamps for the center of the flower here and here. So then I went, so this is very vanilla cardstock is what I stamped it on, and I cut it out because I think I'm going to use it on this layout. Then I tried blends, and let me tell you, it failed. My Mossy Meadow blend broke at some point, so it's dried out, and you can see just the center, there's just a big blob of dark. And it looks a little better that it dried, but I don't know if you can tell here on the edge of that leaf. It's all dark and it wouldn't blend. And yeah, and then I didn't have Fresh Freesia or Berry Burst blend, so I tried Petal Pink. But then my Daffodil Delight, the dark one, is dead. It was a mess. So I wanted to show you that your blends, even if you try hard, can sometimes fail on you. That's fine. That's why it's nice to have the stamp set to fill in those images for you. And then this one here, I used our Fluid 100 watercolor paper, and I shouldn't have used Memento Black. I couldn't find my StazOn, and I'll show you why. So right here, you can see the black on this petal here has faded and mushed in with the Fresh Freesia. So this side here is watercolor pencils. This side here is our ink. So I took ink right off of our ink pads. So, and using a blender pen. So I colored in with the watercolor pencils, and then I did like 3 colors here. There's gray, brown, and a green. I think it's Old Olive. And then there's 2, I think there's a pink and a purplish color. And then this is Berry Burst and Fresh Freesia. And this is just Mossy Meadow. So it gets 3 different ways, plus that horrible blend fiasco. So there's 4 different ways that you could technically color these in. You can even get your watercolor painters and use this with the ink, with the Fluid 100 watercolor paper, and color in those images. But I figured 3 options, well, 4 different types was okay. And then if you wanted to try with the water painters, that would be a good idea. All right, I wanted to do some stamping. Move these photos. So why I didn't put this Fresh Freesia right on yet is I wanted to do some stamping. So this is going to go here, and then our photos are going to go like this, and like this, something like that. But I wanted to add some stamping, and where's that stamped image here? So stamping here, but because I don't have larger designer series paper, you would always create your own. So we're going to use some Fresh Freesia ink and this big stamp set. Whoopsie. And then we're also going to use this little one, I think. Ooh, everything's sticking together. There we go. So I thought about putting this in the background, but it might be too big. So I think what I'm going to do instead, I didn't think that was quite good enough. So we're going to do a combination of the two, I think. Okay, we're going to move the stamped image and my pictures. We're going to move the Very Vanilla 12 by 12 out of the way. We're going to keep this here for just now. And we're going to open up this fresh freesia, which I like the color. I hate the name. I hate trying to say that. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. All right, so we want, I think we want here, and we want to be off the edge a little bit of our cardstock, like so. And we're creating our own designer paper. Now, sometimes designer paper can be monochromatic. And you can go all haphazard. I've just decided not to. And you could also start with the Very Vanilla and create a pattern around the edge if you wanted. I'm going to clean up this ink. Let's see. Do I need another one? I think I am going to put one over there. Better ink it up so I get full strength of ink. Put it over here and hope that I don't cover it up with the card. Let's make sure. Almost. But I think that should be okay. Let's pull in those photos and just check. Yeah, I like that. I like that. All right. Now you could, if you wanted, take, let's just use this. Take the other pieces and fill in these, but I'm going to leave them blank like that because I have my main stamped image is already colored in. So I'm going to leave that alone. Better put my ink away. And then we can clean the stamp set. So we just have our Simply Chamois. And it probably doesn't have enough water on it. That's okay. We'll clean this after. Now, before we get too far into putting this, I don't know if I'm going to use this flower. Let's put it over there. Okay. We want to stamp. One of the other items in the kit are these die cut labels. And we're going to use It's the Little Things That Matter. We are going to use black just to make it stand out a little bit better. And I've already eyeballed this before putting ink on, so I know that it has to be over to the left a little in order for all the words to fit on it. I'm just going to stamp up here. Make sure that, because this is the first time using this stamp set, to make sure that it's going to stamp well and have enough ink on it. Okay. I don't like how it's not centered, but I felt that it'd be better to have all the letters on there so you knew what it said. All right. Just wipe that off. So now we can assemble our layout. So put some glue on the back and then make sure that I glue this down the correct way. And we're just going to center it on the Very Vanilla because I cut it to 11. There should be about ½ an inch-ish on each side. Then we're going to take our card with the granny apple green edge. And put that there. Oops, I got glue on my finger. I don't need glue on my layout. Okay. Go just smoosh that down so it stays. I really like that card. I'm really glad there's two more. The other cards, if you were wondering, so there's this one here and this one here, and they're gorgeous. I love it. So this didn't work for my 11-inch design because it's only 8.5 wide, but you could use this if you wanted to. You could use it like here and design a layout from there. Move things out of my way. So you could do a big strip here and then put a photo right over here. And same thing with this. You could put it like over here and maybe even add some of those envelopes up top so you can extend that sky going upwards. That would be really pretty. So sometimes you just have to play around with what you have and finding the best sketch, going to Pinterest, making sure that you pay attention here for any free tutorials or sketches could help you out as well. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on the glue all the way. All right, so now I have all of these leaves, and you're probably wondering, where did I get the leaves from? And they're backed with adhesive already. Because it's nice to put the multi-purpose glue on them, but then it leaks out between, and then this doesn't dry completely if it's like exposed to the air. So here it is. These dies. So the Love of Spring dies. These here may still be available. They worked with the January, February, and March paper pumpkin kits. So there is a daffodil, a tag, love, and the leaf. And I've used these on my last few paper pumpkin videos, and that link will be in the description below. You do need to be a paper pumpkin subscriber in order to purchase these, but you'll want to pay attention to the next paper pumpkin kit. That's not it. That's after this one, Delicate Wings paper pumpkin kit. So this one here is if you sign up by April 10th, it is the Delicate Wings paper pumpkin, and this is the coordinating add-on. And I can't read what it's called at the moment, but I can't remember. Good for me. But the add-on kit is Thanks and Beyond dies. So it has the butterflies, the intricate, and the full cutout. Kind of not really a hexagon, but a label and a punch, or not a punch, a thanks sentiment. So the butterflies worked with April. May is that label, and thanks is June. So we have this one is May, and then June's, we don't know. We'll know more April 2nd because it's going to have new in colors. Righty. Okay. So if you sign up to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can get possibly both add-ons because it's while supplies last. And then you can join me next month creating the Delicate Wings Paper Pumpkin kit. All right. So we want to add some dimensionals on the back of this photo. And no, I haven't placed an order yet to get more white dimensionals, so black will have to do. And because it's a scrapbook layout, I put lots of these things. Okay, but you don't have to take the back off all of them. And I can't forget to put embellishments. There's been a couple times I've recorded a video and I'm like, yep, the embellishments are right there. We're all good. And then I finish the video and it's like, dang, I forgot to use the embellishments. Okay, so we want this kind of sort of there. And then we can glue this. Wait, this way? This way. There's the corner of the pot, and I think it's at the bottom. That looks like the correct way up. Okay. This one's easy. Grass goes down, concrete goes up, or brick goes up. Yeah, that's got to be the back of the house. And that goes there. All right, so now what I want to do is take these, and these dies all work with the Stampin' Cut mini machine. So you can have either the mini or our normal sized Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I have both. The smaller one's easier for when I'm recording, or it doesn't weigh as much if I'm traveling somewhere with it. Which I don't usually travel with it anymore, but if you like to go to crops or craft with a friend or that type of thing. So then I'm just going to, I cut a whole whack of these out so I can just kind of, I was going to say sprinkle them all over my layout to create that meadowish look. Oops. And I only put glue in the center of the photos, but now I think I should have put more glue. So I'll probably go back and add some more glue after. Because I usually put glue on the corners, but I wanted to make sure I could put these leaves where I wanted them. I'm going to put all of them on. Why not? I die cut them out. And I put the adhesive sheets on there on the back, and that's what is making this so easy. And if you'd like to know what I've used to create this layout, the description below will have a link to my online store so you can purchase these items. Now the paper pumpkin kit, because it is available only for a certain length of time, the refills may be available depending on when you're watching this video. So I don't believe the full kit is available anymore for this memorable Meadows. But there is designer series paper that coordinates. So that is the meandering meadows, all these meadows. But I can't wait for better like June and whatever and go sit out. Okay, enjoy nature, not the snow we've had this past week in southeastern Ontario. So here's my stamped image. And I was going to add this here, but I think it takes away from the layout. I don't think it adds anything. And I don't want to stick it up here. And I don't want to stick it up. Like it could maybe go there. I don't know. What do you think? I don't like it. It's pretty, but I don't like it. Okay, we're going to use some mini dimensionals on the back. Oopsie. The back of my sentiment. And then whenever I figure out when this is, I will add a little bit of like a journal block. Likely here, or maybe up here. And just put the date and where each thing was. Oops, I already took that one off. Okay, we're going to put this. I want to put there. I think I like that there. Dimensional back gooey. All right, and then as a finishing touch, until I can figure out the date of this thing, is we're going to have these embellishments. They're almost like dewdrops, which makes sense with a meadow theme. So we're going to sprinkle these throughout our layout. They're fun. I should add embellishments more often because just a little bit extra, something a little extra on the layout. All right, let's see if I can show you where I've put them here. So here's one, and there's another one, and I put one down here, and then a couple up here, over here, and a couple down there. All right, so there is using layout sketch number 1 and modifying it to fit with the paper pumpkin kit from March 2024, Meandering Meadows, or Meandering Meadows was the designer series paper that's on the online store. This is Memorable Meadows, Too Many Meadows. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will catch you next week. Make sure to subscribe, and reminder, the links are in the description if you'd like to purchase these products, and also to subscribe to the email list to receive that tutorial. Happy stamping!